everyone. Welcome to the Sports Wave Network and Sports Corner with the Conn Man. I am your host, the Conn Man. And with me this evening, I have with me, let me tell you folks, you guys are in for a treat. I got my man, Jonathan Thompson from the JT Chronicles. How you doing, my brother?
Dude, I'm good, man. How you doing?
I'm better now. You know what I mean?
I'm
I'm going to tell you
loving it.
quick.
Good.
I don't know, maybe 3, 4 years ago, I'm scrolling through Facebook and whatever, and I see him, this guy who I don't even know from a hole in the wall, but he was so energetic in the morning. And I was like, who is this guy? What is up with him? And I've been following him ever since. And my
I
man,
appreciate that.
my man is the ultimate motivator, positivity galore. And anyway, I'm here to give you your flowers, my brother. And what I want to do is I want to set the table and then let you do your thing. Now, I want you to let the viewers know because they're going to be in for a treat. Talk about your journey and your grind from the get-go, from the beginning.
From the beginning. How many times? What we got? That 10 minutes, 15? What do we got, man? We got. um, I'm actually from the Cape. So,
Okay.
I love that. And I was born and raised in the Cape.
Uh,
I'm a father of two, husband of one. You know, they know. You caught that. You caught that quick. Very good. All right. I was born on the Cape way back. I'm not gonna say it doesn't matter. You can't tell by the skin tone. I'm an apple cider vinegar oil of Olay, so you didn't get that. I was a kid. I used to be in a boy band when I was a kid.
really?
Yeah, I don't think you knew that.
I didn't know that. No, not at
Yeah.
all.
So I used to be in a boy band, and so I'll tell you how this whole thing kind of escalates. I started when I was like 14, 13, 14. And so our manager was one of our neighbors. So first we used to do the roller skating. Remember that was like, so everybody doing the roller skating, all that stuff. We had a great time. And, then we started doing some break dancing and, just getting the cardboard, getting the linoleum. I had a
Mhm.
group, my boys, me, Troy, uh, Brian, Kippy, Charles, Melvin, Vincent. So we were doing, and Joe. And then we did a lip sync contest at a place called Puffer Bellies on Cape Cod way
Uh-huh.
back. Okay, so are you familiar with Puffer Bellies?
Very much.
Right.
Yep.
Okay, so there used to be a teen night. There'd be like 800 kids, easy, every Monday night. 800 plus kids from all over. Bedford, Boston, all over. Kids would be all over the place. So we did a new edition. Because that was hot back then. It was like, so it was new edition. We're doing the new edition thing. And we did Cooling Now. See, yeah. I ain't getting up, but trust me, I'm giving you the gist of it. And so one of my neighbors was this guy named Johnny Wright. So Johnny manages actually Justin Timberlake, Backstreet. He had Britney for a while. He had NSYNC, Jonas Brothers. Like so, but this was way back then. So he was a DJ at the radio station, and he was like, "Oh, you guys are good." Him and his girlfriend at the time, named Donna Wright, and so they was like, "Oh, we got to put a group together." They saw us and they're like, we're gonna work with you guys. So we weren't even thinking anything. We just wanted $300. That was it. And
Mhm.
so we started working with them and with Johnny and Donna. And then next thing you know, we're performing all over Boston, New England, Maine, New Hampshire, New York, down to Florida. And we ended up starting to opening up for we did New Kids, we did DMC, we're doing Evelyn Champagne King, we're doing at least anybody was hot. So coming through New England, and it was at the point where then we cut our first single, and it was called Baby Love. So we're doing we're on the ride. So at that time, Boston was the spot. When I tell you Boston was the spot, everybody, because at that time you had Mike and Mark coming through. He was starting his stuff off. Obviously new kids were already up. You know what I mean? They were already like definitely on that huge climb. There's another group called Irving and the Twins that Maurice Starr had. This young dude with these two sets of twins. Um, and the Perfect Gentleman, Maurice had his son's group, so he had a group like that. So this is all going on. NOG, it's everything. Boston was happening. Every week we were performing somewhere, like and with somebody. Um, and we had a huge. And I talk about this in one of my motivational videos. So we had a huge show at a place called Faces, and so at that time, Benny Medina, who manages like J Lo and Will Smith, and if you watch the Fresh Prince, you'll say Benny Medina's name on there, executive and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So that story was about Benny Medina, which I didn't know. The Fresh Prince was about Benny Medina. Did you know that?
No.
Yeah. So
No.
if you Benny talks about, so that was like Benny's for the Fresh Prince is based off of him, off of Benny Medina. Do you go back? Yeah, he talks about that. You gotta check that out. It's interesting.
I have to. I had no idea.
Yeah. So we had a show, place is sold out. We're performing. There's a bunch of other groups performing. Like we're the main act that night, and so he flew in to see us because he heard our single. Da da da. And so we came out and like now here's the thing. This is where everything comes in. This is where all your things need to be lined up at the right time. All right, everything needs to be lined up at the right time. So we were just five of us, me, Troy, Vincent, Melvin, Joe, and we're in the limo. We get to the show, and now Johnny was our manager, and Johnny Ray, and we were supposed to do our opener, our dance routine opener, and then just go into our single, Baby Love. But we didn't understand the significance and the importance of why they wanted to do that. He wanted to see us perform our song, see the crowd reaction, see how it was. So we came out, but we didn't know that. So we're thinking, now let's give him our whole show because we had this whole New Edition, Temptations medley with the Jacksons. It was fire. It was crazy. But he didn't have that kind of time to wait and watch the whole thing. So But we didn't know that. So young kids thinking that we knew more than what we should have. Now there's also a safety part to this, so you get in the second to catch. So we did it. He's watching. We see him in the back. He's like, okay, this kid, people are going crazy. The girls are screaming. We're killing it, And then we go into this whole when I had you to myself, didn't want you up. We're doing all that stuff, and then he's like, we see his face like, what are they? And so basically, it was to say, if I wanted to see the Jacksons or the New Edition, whatever, I would have told them to come to my office instead of flying out here to Boston to see them. So he left. Like right in the middle of our show, he left. And crazy. So at the end of the show, we didn't understand until Johnny came in, one of our producers, may rest in peace right now, Larry Wu, great producer and artist himself. And he said, what are you guys doing? They like yelled at us. They like ripped us apart. And then and it's crazy because it's amazing what you block out of your mind. And I can remember our managers yelling at us. I remember us being in the limo, and I don't remember anything else. Don't remember anything else. It's like that was. I think that pain was so heavy, and I was just like, because we thought that was it. We were that close. Like when I say we're that close, when you're like, we're right there. To the point where you're playing like, we're about to be huge. We're about to be on tour, and it was there. Everything was there. But I feel that now I could say this, that if we did make it at that time, where would we be and what would be some of our different pains? What would be, as you look at all the stuff that's coming up right now, with all these different acts, would we have been caught up in any of that?
Right.
Would we have been part of something that we didn't want to be part of? Would we have, would one of us have been on drugs heavily? Would one of us have been, but like there's so much going on right now, so many stories that are coming out right now. Would we have been, another one of those stories? And I just, cause we loved all the boy bands. People don't consider black R&B groups boy bands, but it's like when you say boy band, like, dude, you gotta think there was New Edition was a boy band, we were a boy band, Troop was a boy band. Think about it, right? High Five. Think about the group called Solo. You had H, like they was all boy band. Anybody doing that's boy, we're boy bands. You know what I mean? Not just R&B. And And so, but you think about, like, I see a lot of the tragedies in a lot of those groups and the things that happened. I'm like, damn, what would have been with us? What would have happened with us?
Mm.
You know, so I mean, obviously God put us all in a different position for a particular reason, and I see it now. It's hard to see then, you know, between the fact of, you know, me having like my beautiful kids, my wife, being there for my parents when they got older and certain things helped, certain situations that I was actually there
Mm.
that needed to be helped, like crazy things, like there was a situation where I literally left the house, went, and I was watching somebody perform, and then I was out doing a play, a friend of mine's kid, and something said, "Get up and go home." During the intermission. Why, I don't know. I had a perfect spot. My car was right in front of the door of the school. I was like, why would I get up? Someone said, "Get up and go home." Went home. My father was on the floor at this house. I went to his house,
Whoa.
and he needed me, like right then. Like, no reason why for me to go home. But something said, "Get up and go home."
That's deep.
Yeah. And my sister doesn't live here. My brother doesn't live here. So it was, I always started listening to those signs. When you get that, something hits you right here, says it to you, boom, react. Yeah. It's happened a lot. It's happened a lot. And my father's been gone since '06.
Wow.
So I actually got to be there.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's beautiful. Everything connected. I was a single dad at that time also. Yeah. This is why you see, when I give you that energy every day,
Yes.
it's because I've been through certain things and I appreciate my life and everything, like, it working out the way it's put itself in the place that needs to be instead of working out so I could do what I'm doing now. I never saw it happening that way and how I got to here. But when I sit back, like, you know, I gotta write that book. You know, I gotta write that book because there's so much.
Yeah. Definitely do.
Um, crazy. So yeah, so we were doing it, man. We was happening, like we were right there, and then everybody just kind of like went their separate ways.
Why do you think that was?
You have a combination of producers that wanted to take certain members out of the group. I found out later, also, and make another group. So at one point, and I mean, it's not a hidden thing. It's like, you know, this is my boy. I still love him. So they wanted to take our lead singer with a bunch of other lead singers from other groups that were throughout Boston and make this other power group, which, well, they were good. It was a group called The Finest Hour, and they had they had a single. And that time, I believe they might have been with either Gladys Knight's son or Patti LaBelle's son. One of those were kind of working with them at one time.
Mm.
And so the Finest Hour. So they had a single. They did some shows, you know what I'm saying, and then they, you know, dispersed from there also. But that was the other thing. So there was always a lot of backdoor talking going on because that didn't just come out of nowhere. You know what I'm saying? Like, they wanted to, like, put that group together. So it makes me sometimes think, like, was it purposely done so they could do this, you know, to make that happen? I don't know.
Mm.
I have no idea. But I'm thankful because I got, like, some incredible times, some incredible people. I made some incredible choices, and some great things have happened for me, which I could never have seen in my thousand years. I couldn't have planned anything. So we just moved forward from there.
So when you guys went your own way,
Yeah.
what did you decide to do then?
I had some people say, "Oh, come audition for this other group, come to this other group." So I
Mm.
auditioned for this other group that somebody else was putting together. And it was this white dude. I can't remember his name, but he kind of reminded me of the dude Brian from the lead singer of Color Me Bad, like that.
Okay.
Just heavy set. Remember?
Mm.
Remember? We didn't know that dude was. I didn't know that dude was white until I saw Color Me Bad.
I didn't either. No
Remember?
idea.
Because remember, Sex You Up played in New Jack City in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that came out right when she was dancing in front of So we like, oh, this song's hot, but we never knew who Color Me Bad was. So he kind of reminded me of him, vocals like that, just heavy as that. And the dude could blow. The dude from down south, Swipe Boy is bad. He was so I don't know where that kid is, but he had a falsetto that was killer, and he could sing. Yeah, he was real good. Audition for that group. It was a crazy looking group. One dude was like 6'3". I'm 5'4". The other dude was like 5'9". It was like crazy all over. I'm like, this is like a circus car. Like we can't be. This ain't working. So we whatever. So it was good. It was cool. Separated, and then I had no idea what I was gonna do. I was like, all right, put together another group for a little while. Group called Shades of Gray. It was like this other black dude and this other white dude, and out in Attleboro for that was a short time. It's like everything like nothing's working, nothing's feeling it. You know what I'm saying? Couple different groups, and then I ended up being with a group where it was my friend. Her name is Kat Raquel. She's like that was one of my really good friends, and you can look her up. She is beautiful. Her voice is incredible. So she has a song with a couple of tracks with like Dave East, a couple of things with different artists, stuff like that. So she's real good. She's out there. She's out there. Has a band. And we were together for a while. We did some stuff. A few of us. It was like her cousins and one of my other best. Melvin was in the group also, and then Melvin's sisters. So it was us three, and then another girl named Danielle. This other girl. So Danny. All of us were together. So we had another group called La Paz. And it was good. And we worked with another guy named Sonny Thompson, and Gordon Worthy, and a couple of people. So we did good. We were doing well too. But then it just again, if it's not lining up,
Right.
boom. So I stayed in the business doing stuff, and then 1995. So I had a group called Next Level, four of us, and good friends, and then we just broke up. And one of the guys, Jay-Z, good friend of ours, he died in a motorcycle accident. So he was 30, something like that, 30 something years old. And I remember he was in St. Howard's and Bourne, Sagamore area. Before he passed away, I literally saw him like the week before. And like he was working at a club, bouncing. And I remember I saw this girl like put her phone number in his hand. She was walking by. And I was like, I saw that. And he just kind of looked at me, smirked. And then I got across the street, and I was with my boy Ralph. And I returned. Something just made me turn back and look at him. And it's like I just saw a tunnel vision of him sitting at the corner of the door. Used to be a club called Guido Murphy's on Main Street in Hyannis. It was on the corner. And he just looked at me, I looked at him, but we just stared at each other. And it wasn't like he had a smile. We just kind of looked at each other. I saw nothing. It was just him. It was like straight him tunnel. And then he died the following Saturday. And and I said it because somebody texted me. They're like, no, excuse me, they paged me. That's how long we were talking, 95. So he sent me a page. I was like, my thing kept going off. And I said, my answer my page was my sister-in-law. And she goes, did you hear about Jay-Z? I'm like, is he dead? She goes, how'd you know? Because I was at work. And I just hung up the phone. And so when I wrote a song for him, wrote a poem, it was called Always on My Mind. And I wrote that for him. And I read it at the funeral. It was crazy. When I came out, the kids, like everybody loved this kid, such a good kid. It took his parents 9 years to have him. That's how crazy. They went through all the all the different pills and everything else and the shots and nothing. They ended up having him after 9 years. Crazy. So he died, and so I read this poem. I read it, and I gave it to his mother. And then this friend of mine was playing. He goes, you should turn that song. You should turn that poem into a song. So we just chill for a minute, and then I said, I don't know. He's like, and so he started playing acoustics. So I started singing it, and he's like, oh, dude, he goes, this contest is going on. You should try this contest. So I called the number, and they're like, okay, they go, can you just sing it over the phone? And so I did it. Then they're like, you got to sing it again for this other person. Because they love the lyrics, of, always on my mind, And they're like, you got to come to Nashville. So in this contest. So I ended up singing at the Grand Ole Opry.
Whoa.
So, and it's not, and again, it's not like I have this incredible voice or anything like that. Nothing like that, dude. I just love what I do. If I can hold the tune here and there, I'm more of an entertainer. You know what I mean? You see the video, and but they liked it, and I was singing way better back then too. But I was also, so I was leaving, and I needed money. I still needed like I was taking a Greyhound to Nashville, and so I didn't tell anybody. Like I probably could use like another like $200, $250, like just to really be comfortable.
Right.
And so I remember I went to see his mother, see my boy's mother who had passed away, and she gave me a card. And she said, "Oh, good luck, I love you." Da da da. Her name was Mary. She passed away too. I love her. So nice. And so she says, you keep that. You open that later." I said, "Okay." So I'm in there, and I open the card. I'm in there, and there's a prayer card, and it says Jay-Z's prayer. As I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. So that's the passage that's on there, and there's a check for $250 in there. So I'm like, what? So I'm just like, shh. I call my aunt because I asked my aunt, I'm like, did you say? Matter of fact, my aunt didn't even know shit. I didn't tell anybody because my aunt knew that was going, and she was related to them also. I go see my mother. My mother's like saying prayers for me before I get on the bus. My mother starts reading out of the same passage as I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I fear no evil. So she's reading that to me. She doesn't know I have a card. She doesn't know anything. She doesn't know nothing about the money.
That is.
So I get on the bus. I go. If you've ever taken a bus trip, that's you meet some of the most eclectic people ever in your life on a bus trip, especially when you go through you stop in New York, South, it's crazy. Excuse me. So the bus driver knew I was by myself too. I was going. So we're going. Very interesting. Met some very interesting people. And so the last like 3-4 hours, now we're going through all these little towns that you've never heard of in your entire life because you're on the bus. So you're stopping at all these different bus stations. And so it's like 2 in the morning, something like that. And maybe like 20 of us left on the bus because they always drop people off all the way 30. Going to this bus station, I don't remember where it was. And this guy gets on the bus. He got no luggage, nothing like that. He gets on. I'm saying, he's going to go in the back and sleep on that long bench. Because there's always a long bench in the back, that long seat.
Right.
So he looked like a little straggly, possibly a little homeless, a little vagabond, kind of like he walked by. Something made me get up. And I took my bags out of my seat because I had my legs over my chair. I was just sleeping. Dude comes back, he put his hand on my shoulder. And he's like, can I sit here? So the bus driver's looking at me because he's like, he knows I'm by myself. And I was like, go ahead. So he starts sitting. He's like, yeah. And he goes, I did the deck in the work for like this country singer. I built this one's deck. I built that one's deck. So he started to put the floors in. So he's talking about these different country singers. And then he starts talking about the Bible. And he starts reciting as I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. So he's saying this, he's in my ear. And then he goes back to music. So the whole ride is music, Bible, music. So he has me. He's just in my ear and talking to me. And I'm just like, so I'm very calm this whole time. I'm very calm. It's just like, but I feel like, I feel strong. I feel confident. Like I feel good, but I'm just like calm. It's like I have nothing wrong with me. You know what I mean? And you're gonna be good. You're gonna be okay. So I was like, so he gets off, and the bus driver looks at me. I'm good, and the dude. No, so we're in a huge parking lot at the next bus station. The dude's just standing there in the parking lot, like standing there looking at me. So I kind of wave, We start driving off. And then I turn back to look at him because I'm like, that was so opening. Dude, we don't see him anywhere in the parking lot. If he went left, right, straight, doesn't matter. We can still see him. It's a huge parking lot. Nowhere. Gone. Nothing. I get to the hotel. I call my mother, and I'm just like, I gotta tell you this. And my mother was a deacon at church, and she just started crying. She's like, I'm crying. She's like, I think you just met your guardian angel. Now, mind you, right before Jay-Z died, he said, I will always be there for you and help you for whatever you need.
Wow. Whew. That's deep, my man. That is definitely deep, man.
So everything that keeps happening to me, and it does keep happening, like a lot. That's why I'm just like I am, because I'm like, it, it just happens. I believe in it, man. That faith, your affirmations, you speak it, you say it. Like I do it every day, and everything that keeps happening for me is because I do it. And I speak it, and I'm telling you, that people see it. And they're like, wow. I'm like, I said, if I knew this when I was a kid, I would
Imagine,
want it more.
imagine. You got a gift.
We all do. We got to use it. You got to tune into it. You do too. We got to tune into it. You just got to open it.
Hold
You got
that
to
thought.
open it.
Hold on. Keep talking, my man.
You got to open it, because you're saying it's like I do have a gift. I absolutely know I have a gift. Everybody here has a gift. It's like, do you want to be? Do you want to waste it? Do you want to sit there and just let somebody else take it? You know, I've always heard this. I've always heard this. Somebody, I can't remember who said the story first. They say, might have been Denzel. It might have been Denzel. Might have said the story also, and from somebody else. I don't know who, but I said, imagine you being on your deathbed and you're sitting there, and all the things that you could have done, all your presents, everything that you were there, all the ideas, all your gifts are standing around you, mad at you because you didn't open your gifts, and they're gonna die with you.
Mm-hmm.
Everything that you were gonna could have done, and you kept procrastinating, and they died because you didn't have faith and you didn't take advantage of it. And they're mad because all these things you could have done, you could have been this, could have been that, you could have discovered cancer, you could have discovered a cure for this, that, whatever it is, built a new playground, built this, whatever it is. But you didn't open the gifts because you didn't take advantage of these opportunities sitting right in front of you, and they're gonna die with you. I can't let that happen. You can't let that happen, dude. You have too much, Michael. You have too many gifts, dude. You have too many gifts. This is one of your gifts right now. You're giving a platform to other people. That's beautiful. But again, like, how many more gifts how many things have you thought of? And like, someday I'll do that. Well, I could do that. But why are you not?
Right, right.
Why are you not? Or why did you tell it to somebody else who's not going to understand it? Because it's not for you. It's not their gift. It's your gift.
Right. Exactly. Mm-hmm.
And when you tell somebody, and I've done that where I've told somebody, yeah, I'm going to do this and this, and listen to what they say to you. Listen to what they say to you. So either A, you'll find out, dude, I got you. What do you want to do? What can I do to help you? You got those people, and you got them. And so and so tried that. That just ain't gonna work. Or they're just like, nah, that's stupid, and let it go. But they take it and they chew it, and it doesn't come off the way you would have had it, but they
Right.
took it.
Mm-hmm.
You got gifts. You got to keep opening your gifts. We have to keep opening our gifts.
Now, what got you into being the motivational speaker,
Like
Mr.
this,
Positivity? How did that all originate?
um, being a single dad in the beginning, my son played football, like little Pop Warners, and so it was like I was always there. Like I was there for probably 99.9% of every single game in practice, and
Mm-hmm.
so and I made sure as much as I could. I was blessed to be able to do that, and so I'm getting him out, putting his helmet on, and we're talking, I'm getting him all pumped up, and he's like, okay. I said, "You ready?" He said, "I'm ready." I'm like, "You good? You ready? We're gonna be good to people. We're gonna respect people. And like, and he's like, "Yeah." I said, "It's a game. We're gonna have a good time." Yeah. Listen to your coach. Yeah, yeah. So we're getting pumped up, and then you see like a couple other kids come over, and they're like, and now because they see Daring, my son Daring, getting pumped up, and then so they're like kind of bouncing with them, and they're like, "Can we come over here too?" I'm like, "Yeah." So now by like the third week, I got the whole team.
Okay.
And so they're like all these little kids, and they're jumping up, and they're like, whose house is this? Our house. Whose house is this? So they're playing and they're jumping. It's crazy. It's hilarious. It's hilarious. And then when I got my daughter with her too, so now she's like shaving the staffs, all that stuff. But like, so they had asked me, one of the coaches, the parents asked me, "Can you talk to the kid because so and so, having some issues, whatever, whatever." So we're just talking about some stuff. And then at the kid's school, one of the teachers said, "Hey, can you come talk to my team. It was like a girls' team. So just like what you do, just to help them. So I was like, okay. I didn't think about that. Right, so I did just a little something. I know I'm all over the place, da da da. But they liked it. They got pumped up, and they're like, we talked about guilty by association, people hanging out with stuff like that, and it kind of like word of mouth started going like that. So then I started like my boy was like, dude, what the hell are you doing? I'm like, I don't know. And then when I started doing the video show, I was like, I don't know, I just had a good time. And he's like, yeah, he goes, but you're over here, you're doing these videos in the morning, and the videos in the morning were because of, I had surgery on my knee. So my brother lives in one place, my sister lives somewhere else. So they were always like, how you feeling? Da da da. So I'm like, it could be worse, say da da da. But I would get them laughing and stuff like that. So some of the people that they were with were like, what are you laughing about? Like, Jonathan said there's a video. Like, tell him to tag me in that video. Because, it got them going. It got them, for a good day. And it kind of kept going from there. So little things started happening, putting things in together. And it was crazy. So I started doing it. And I started, first it was like comedic motivational guru was my first name.
Okay.
So it's just a comedic motivational guru. Just getting people pumped up for the day. And where I worked at the hospital, I used to do this thing called the morning bus ride. So the shuttle just takes you from the parking lot to the hospital to work. Like you park in the parking lot. So
Right.
it's like a 2 minute ride. So when the bus guy was on, this dude Bob, he's like, hey, morning. I'm like, dude, you got to set the tone. You're driving this bus. So we're getting on here. You being all grumpy and shit. So you can't, all that nonsense. So we got to be, so he's like, oh. So I got on the bus one day and I put the phone up on the dash. I said, we're going to do a video. He goes, what is that? I'm like, just flow with me. And I just started doing that. One time, Mr. JT, welcome to the morning bus ride. He said, the morning bus ride. So anybody who was on the bus is on the show. They're like, what? I'm like, yeah. So I just got people. So this was every day at like 5:30 in the morning. So every day. So it was crazy. So people got on the bus and we're getting them all amped up and worked up. And I'm tagging. And people loved it. They're like, who's on the morning bus ride? And then we talk about different things. Some people would send us stuff. Like, this is going out to, Mike, and, Philly, hey, Mike, you had a family situation. We love you, man. We're sending your prayers out. And everybody's like, morning, Mike. He's like, and it would just be, Mike didn't know any of these people. But it would be like, he knew me, or he might know Bob, or it might be somebody that was on the bus that said, can you send a message to my sister? And that was every day for a couple of years. So the morning bus ride, it was crazy. That was free. I just did it. There was no pay. There wasn't no money toward that. Then people would like send food or something like that, or they send stuff like that. It was cool. It was fun. Did for a while, yeah. And then COVID hit.
Right.
And they stopped. They stopped the shuttle. Made no sense. Stopped the shuttle because we were still working together.
Right.
So it was like, it made no sense. Like, we're on a bus for 2 minutes. Like, well, there's COVID. I'm like, yeah, but we're still inside together for like 8 hours. Yeah, we can't be together for 2 minutes, like on the shuttle. That morale, you know what I'm saying? That's that morale.
Exactly.
But no, here, no there. So that ended, but it was good. And I still do, I still do the morning videos. Sometimes do it from different places. Sometimes just me walking in the morning, stuff like that. But it was just to get people on. And if I wasn't on there, if I didn't send the video up, like, you good? You okay? I'm like, oh yeah, I'm actually not working today. But then it was a lot of stuff. There was a lot of stuff going on. I started doing weddings, hosting weddings and emceeing weddings with, a friend of mine who's a DJ. He's like, come host this. I was like, oh yeah. Because they want MC, and I can't do that. I'm like, so you take the little boy band stuff and you put that into the, do you? Yeah. Excuse me. It was fun. And so we're doing, I'm up to, between speaking, hosting all kinds of different things, to 100 and something a year, 130 events a year, or more, maybe more.
Wow.
Yeah, festivals, parades. Speaking at schools, actually, I just got a call right now for another school just now as we were talking. I'm blessed. I made my own lane.
You
What were the
definitely,
gifts?
JT, how did the Chronicles come about?
How did the what?
Chronicles.
The Chronicle. That was, excuse me. That was the That was when because of my brother and sister asking me to send them messages, so I started posting it on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, oh, JT, no, JT, yeah, these are my chronicles. That's what I said. These are my chronicles. So it was like, that's what it was. No big deal. And my friend Casey and my friend Tim Luce, one of my best friends since we were 8, and owned a sports store, Flagman, all this stuff. And my other friend Casey Sherman, Casey's a writer. He did like a Patriots Day about the Boston marathon bombing. So that movie Patriots Day, that's from his book. So we did that. So he's like, dude, what are you doing? Like, what's this chronicle thing? I told him. He's like, you got to develop that more and structure it better. He goes, it's a good thing because it's needed. So we just kept going, and I so it ended up being the chronicles where people were like, first I do it like once, twice a week, and then got to be like every day when people like reach out like, oh, I needed that today. I needed that message today.
I'm one of them.
I now I know those things, right? I was like, I didn't know. It was like that. Yeah. And so this is what kept going on. So JT Chronicles, then I was doing stuff with the kids at the school, and my kids, Darian and Deja would go home and like everybody's talking about JT Chronicles. I'm like, what? How do your kids know about it? Well, they saw you. Oh my God, hilarious. So my wife told me so the toilet needs to be fixed. Da da da. Call. I'm gonna go to YouTube. I'm gonna fix this toilet. I don't need no.
Mm-hmm.
So she was taking a nap. So I locked the bathroom door so she didn't come in and catch me because I was like, I'm gonna save some money. So I went in there and I filmed it for security reasons. I filmed it. I was like, I'm gonna fix the toilet today, and I'm excuse me. I'm fixing it, doing it. I turned the thing at the nozzle backwards, so when I flushed it, all the stuff shot up in my face on the thing. It's hilarious. So I had to fix that and then put it back in. But that was all video stuff I have, and the kid, and I posted it later, and the kids are like, Dad, they want you to do some more videos and stuff like that. So I'm like, who are these kids? Like, so when my wife and I would go to their games, you hear the kids, JT Chronicles. They like yell, these kids are yelling, and the parents are like, why are you yelling at Mr. Thompson like that? Like, no, that's JT Chronicles. He does videos. And they're like, what are you talking about? So the kids know, because kids talk quick.
Oh yeah.
So I had every school across the Cape was like watching and sending, and they everywhere we go, and it's just, it was just like, I was like, oh, these kids really watch. So then I had to remember like what I'm putting out. You know what I'm saying? Then you start to be a little bit more conscious of what you put out. I was like, all right, dude, careful what you say, what you're talking about, because these kids are definitely watching. So I was like, all right. So I would, slide in some positive stuff here and how to, taking care of yourself or, school or whatever it is, but you blend it. So it was they left with something. Make it funny, but also give them a message at the same time. And more parents, would watch it. Adults would watch it. Some funny dudes don't want to talk about it. All right, now they know. So I got some friends that one of my dudes. He's like a good friend of mine, and he's something one day. It's so funny how especially I'll just say black dudes. Sometimes they hug me and they whisper in my ear, "Good job, man. I'm watching every day." And then they walk away. So I'm like, okay. And I was like, so it's funny, like, and one of my other guys is like, yeah, they'll be talking ish about you. He goes, I told him, you can just block the page, you can just block me. You don't have to watch my page.
Right.
But, they're talking. I'm like, are you mad? Because I'm doing what I love. So I think that's what sometimes causes people not to do what they want to do because they're afraid of what someone else is going to say about them. You know what I'm saying? Like some people don't do something they really want to try because they're afraid of what other people are going to say.
Of course.
You can't.
Absolutely.
You can't, man. That goes with those gifts that are those presents all sitting around you, those ideas, those people standing around your bed when you're you're taking your last breath, and they're like, why didn't you take a chance? Why didn't you invent me? Why didn't you open my present I have for you? So I said I will not do that. I will not waste those gifts. So I have to talk to myself every day. So and say that. But so it just kept growing. Now more dudes are like, I love what you do, man. I appreciate it. So that makes me feel good when I see other brothers, and men in general, because of the mental health. which we talk
Right.
about a lot too, is big because we always feel like we have to keep all this in. I'm the man. I gotta take care of this. I gotta do this. I gotta do this. Like, dude, you can only take on so much before you
Right.
explode.
Exactly.
You gotta let that go. And if you're in a relationship and you've gotta have that communication where the other half is like, "No, he or she or whatever your relationship is like, listen, I need you to do this because I can't do all this. Or I can't pay for this. Or I can do this, but we got to do something because we both should be rising at the same time,
Right.
not one rising the other one falling. It's like that's not a relationship. You know what I mean? Like if we're together and if we got to make some things work. Like, what do you need? I'll take care of that for you. What do I need? I need this. And understand, I tell kids that like it's not all about you taking care of everything as a man. It's like you've got to know how to like share that responsibility. You have to. You got to know when. Don't keep all this inside. You got to let that out. I don't care if you go jogging. I don't care if you go working out. I don't care if you dance. You play trumpet, play guitar, paint, play some sports. Do something to get that out. But if you keep it locked in, that's when somebody accidentally bumps into you and you flip out. And I have
Right.
no, and your anger has nothing to do with me. But I don't know that. You know that because you've been keeping it all inside all that time.
It's true. True.
You're keeping all that inside and you're mad at me because I accidentally bumped into you. Or I cut you. Or I took the
And
last pair. Yeah.
yeah, and the reason why I wanted you on as well is because I like my guests to make an impact, and obviously you're making an impact, and
Thank you.
and unfortunately we don't have that much time left. I'm gonna have to ask you back on again. I know you're a busy man, but
That's
we
okay.
got and while we have these few minutes, is there anything you want to let the viewers know that who may be watching this and are going through a tough time, who may need that motivation, who may need that positivity, that may need someone like you because they're not getting it where they're at or
Right.
in the stage that they're at right now. What can you do to maybe make an impact on? Because we got a lot of people watching, not as many people as watch you, but we got a few people that watch it.
Well,
And, I want
it's all, yeah.
I want to make an
It's
impact.
and I want you to, and I thank you for saying that. That's the point. They can reach out to me. They can reach out. The whole point is there's so many different avenues and there's so many outlets for you to reach out and get help. You know what I mean? And you might not want to do it with one of your boys or one of your female friends around. So reach out and talk to somebody about that. It's like break it down. Like, what do you really need? Like, what is you got to look at yourself and just write. When you write it down, it becomes more real. When you look at your problems, like say, I got this, I need this, I need this, and then also look at your surroundings. I had to do that. Like step away and look at your surrounding and who's around you. Is is any less positive energy for you? Is anybody trying to help you? Watch how certain people treat other people. That's really them. That's the big thing I learned. Watch how they treat other people. Not how they treat you. Watch how they treat other people and be like, damn, they could do that same thing to me.
Damn right.
You know what? And that's a big thing. So I need to slowly step away. That's one less Christmas card that's going out this year. I slowly stepped away. I started a lot smaller, took chances, talked to people, reach out to people. That's the biggest thing. Reaching out. And I forgave myself. That was another big thing. I looked in the mirror and I forgave myself for anything I did. I'm like, I'm sorry for me being this or doing this. And you might be apologizing to somebody else too that you might have had a problem with. And you might not even have to reach out to them or you can just say it to them. But it's the whole point of getting it off and just watch the way your shoulders relax. Watch the way that your mind will start to think that the energy will just drop. That negative energy will start to drop from you. And you got to change yourself. What do you want to happen? My affirmation. We speak about stuff. I definitely come back on. We talk about the affirmation, how to do that. Setting the
Got you.
tone in 2020. Setting the tone in 2025 is what I have. Program I started. Setting the tone 2025. 7 steps. We do every week. We do a 7 different one.
Well, with the little time we got remaining, my man, and I
Uh-huh.
gotta get back on, man, because we could talk for hours. You're
Oh, we
so
got
easy to
this.
listen to, and how can people get a hold of you that are interested in what you've got to say, and how can they reach you and let them know where you at?
Uh, well, um, JT's Chronicles. See my right on my page at jtchronicles.com. You can go on the website. All social media, JT Chronicles, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. If you can't, if you Google Mayor of Cape Cod, I will pop up. You know, you will trust me. You
Just that.
Google Mayor of Cape Cod, I will pop up. It's a whole another story about Kevin Bacon from Footloose and him and I connecting and all. Oh yeah, it's a whole another. Oh, we'll
Oh,
talk. Oh,
we gotta do another one, man. We gotta do another one soon.
that video went viral. We'll talk about that. It was crazy.
And
Actually,
one thing even though y'all Mr. Positivity, you didn't tell folks. You got 8,000 followers.
on one page, I do. I got another like 7, 8 on another one. Total collective, and here's the whole thing. I would tell people, don't worry about the numbers because you can have all these people following you, but if nobody's reaching out and nobody's doing anything, because I know people have numbers, but they're not doing any business.
Right.
Don't worry about the numbers. You just keep doing what you're doing. Don't worry about the numbers because you can have 2,000 people following you, but you could be people buying your product if that's what you're doing, selling. It's like, you know what I mean? Like I'm blessed to get phone calls and stay busy and do this event. And most of it, a lot of people don't even know I'm on social media. They're like, "What's your social media page?" I'm like, "How'd you find out about me?" Through so and so. So it's not even fun being out there on videos and doing all that. It's when somebody saw me and saw Angel and I or whoever I'm at do another event and loved it, felt the energy from the party, the dance party, the host or whatever, the weddings, whatever we were doing. And they were like, "Oh, you got to get these guys. You got to get, you'll love that energy." Yeah, I'm bringing it. I'm there for a reason, man.
Well, you know what? You have been blessed, my man. And Angel and I, we go back a little bit.
Yeah.
Angel was a ball player back in the day. I know that.
Oh, special.
Yeah, he knows me. He mentioned me. He knows me too. But I knew him somewhere. But anyway, we're running out of time, my man. But again, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. I wanted to give you your flowers. Not that you need them, because you're well known already.
Nah, I take those. Trust me, I take those. You remember, sometimes you think everybody thinks, "Oh, he's great. They're good." No, man, I need a hug. I need something. I need to get some energy out. I need to woosah. Yeah,
Well, it's been a pleasure and an honor having you come on my show. We will be doing soon. If anything you want to leave our viewers with, any bit of positivity, anything you want to, I'm giving you your thing.
Listen, go on jtschronicles.com, sign up on there. There's no cost, nothing like that. Giving it out. You want to get yourself, we're setting the tone for 2025. You're setting the tone for a better day, a better week, a better life. So if you really want to make some things change, make some things happen, today's the day. Start. Don't say you can't do it. Do it right now. Put all the other stuff away and move forward. So when I always say it's one love, one family, one community, I mean that. I love that, and we share that. So I'll be back, man. We have to do something where we'll do something like a little bit, and like boom, this is what we're doing this month. Boom, that's what we're doing. Just keep it going.
We can do what you want, my brother, man. I'm so happy you came on my show. You know what I mean? You make my. Well, folks, I told y'all, man, you were in for a treat, and again, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. I'm giving you your flowers, and we will. Yeah, my man. Thank you very much.
I love that. You got me.
In for a treat. Thank you guys for tuning in to Sports Corner with the Conn Man on the Sports Wave Network. You all have a night. Be good. God bless. Thank you, my man, JT. I'll be hitting you up.
Yeah,
thank you.
I love it. You got me. All right, peace, Mike.
You got it. Thank you. Hey. Yes, that was good. That was good.
No, I appreciate you, man.